So as I start the recording, oftentimes a little box jumps up somewhere on your screen. You got to click got it or okay, clear it out of the way. And then to get the most out of this class, to let it really flow great, um, two chairs with the backs of those chairs facing in. This creates a sort of frame and a little playground within which you can operate. You don't want them too narrow, not too wide, just this good distance where you can reach them and step side to side. And then a third seat where you're back from that little frame. You got some room out here, and let's get going. Scoot to the front edge of your chair, hands on your thighs. You got what's called zhongjung or central upright, central pillar. Uh, we have to apply some effort to create the central pillar, right? Because a lot of times, especially if you're a little more sedentary or for other reasons, the body can be slouched, right? You can see my head is pushed forward, my back is rounded, my pelvis spilling back. So that's a very common human problem. And we got to apply some work to tip the pelvis forward, tip it forward, and that will lengthen up the spinal column. And then the head might still be a little bit stuck forward. You want to, if you can, bring the head back and chin slightly down, crown up, and create this central pillar. So you arrange the parts of your body. And again, this is something everyone can think about and understand. But then where Tai Chi and Taoist practice goes in a unique path is this emphasis on once you've created alignment, then you let go, you relax, you soften. And the importance of that softening is paramount. It's really, really important. At first, it maybe doesn't make as much sense. We go, why is that so important? But then over time, it's just the most obvious thing in the world, right? Because tension shortens and tightens and constricts and narrows what's going on throughout our body. So when we're tight, everything's stuck to itself, and then our movement is impeded. Whereas when we relax, we don't slump, we lengthen and dilate. So this ability to let go of unnecessary tension makes room, makes space for function, for functional movement, also for functional breathing movement, also for flow of nerve electricity. So it's very important to soften and relax and let go. This could be the most basic and yet profound meditation approach is you create good structure and then you just practice how soft can you be? How relaxed can you allow yourself to be? And to assist with that, what naturally occurs next is we become aware of breathing. We go, oh, I'm breathing. And when we relax, very often our breath improves right away, just by itself. We relax, we let go of some tension, and the body takes a nice big breath. In through the nose, and then it can go out the nose, out the mouth. You want to be in no rush. Be aware that you may yawn. That is super duper common, that as we start to relax and breathe deeper, then the body starts to find these areas within that want to be used to draw more chi, more breath, more life force in. And so don't fight that. In fact, accentuate any yawning, accentuate any functional movement of the body that goes with this relaxation. And we could spend 30 straight minutes just breathing in, breathing out, getting our structure aligned, letting go of tension. And I suggest you do that on your own. Pause this video and spend 10 minutes. We're not going to spend 10 minutes. Let's do 10 breaths. In through the nose, long, smooth, and full. Bring your attention, your mind to that process, that breathing in. And then be there as you hold the breath for a bit at the top. Then when you're ready, smooth breath out, all the way out. And then at the bottom of that exhale, just hold the breath there for a minute. Or not a minute, but a moment. And then when you're ready, you inhale again and bring that breath in. And hold it for a moment, saturating the system. And when ready, just a nice smooth exhale. Empty. Holding empty. And again, inhale. Again, exhale. We're changing the state of the brain, nervous system, and body. The most important place to put our attention is, can you influence brain, nervous system, body in a particular direction? The imbalanced problem is that, especially with something like Parkinson's, but really just the human experience, is that we don't naturally tend towards relaxation, calm, ease. Instead, we habitually tend towards tension, resistance, concern. That's just like sort of in the system. So that's why the practice needs to be the antidote to that. Remembering soft, relaxed, easy, spacious. Now we add some movements that assist us with that. Slide your hands, your elbows, your shoulder blades back. The chest lifts, you broaden and open the front, chin up, arch. The body wants to make this shape. It doesn't want to get stuck in this shape, but it wants to make that shape. And then the opposing complementary shape. Slide your hands forward, you hollow the chest. You now broaden and open the back. You drop the head and open the base of the skull. And then you do it again. You slide the hands back. The pelvis, we're tipping it more forward. We're sort of spilling the bowl forward as we're arching in this direction. And then as you go the other way, the hands sliding forward, you tip the pelvis back, broaden, dropping the head. And again, sliding hands back, elbows back, shoulder blades back. And slide hands forward, hollow the chest and around the back. 2 more just like this. And again, you could pause the video and do 10 of these, right? And it would be a good use of your time just to loosen up what's stuck in there, to re-enliven these mechanisms. Now, as you finish this next arch position, then just settle back to the neutral position. Pausing there and see if you can release more, relax more, right? We sort of tenderized the tension, and then eventually you get to be able to just go let go, and it sort of melts through the body. Now the second movement, slide your left hand forward past your knee, right hand and elbow slide back, turn, shoulders, turn head, rotation, and then coming back to center, right hand forward, left hand and elbow back, turn the shoulders, turn the head. And then inhale back to center. Exhale as you turn. Inhale to center. Exhale, turn. Center, turn. Center, turn. In, inhale, and back to center. Third movement, hang your arms loose, change the weight to your right buttock and just softly bow to the right. To get a little more out of this, lift your left wrist, see where I'm lifting it, sort of close to my body, and then tip a little more, just a little bit more to the edge, and then come back to center, left arm goes down. Lean and tip to your left. Right wrist floats up, maybe even right foot floating off the floor. And then back to center. Lean. Back to center. Lean. Center. Lean. Center. Lean. And center. And again, important area that gets stuck in the body, scapula, shoulder blades, where the arms are plugged into these shoulder blades. So we shrug them up, squishing all that tension, and then we melt them down, releasing. Up, down, up, down. Now we squeeze the shoulder blades towards each other, release them down, and then we spread them away from each other. And importantly, when you spread them away from each other, look at what happens to the chest. The chest has to kind of hollow. And then when you squeeze them towards each other, the chest has to lift. And then it has to hollow. Now, from this front position, lift the shoulders. And then bring them back while they're lifted. Keep them back while they slide down. Keep them down while you come to neutral. And then forward, up, back, down. And you might be thinking, what does this have to do with walking, right? Gait and balance. Incredibly important is that the torso and shoulders are not stuck. Because what that does is it makes us top heavy. It's like we're carrying around density up here, and that makes us ungrounded and feel less stable, right? So let's reverse that with the shoulders. Here we go. Back, then up, forward, then down, neutral, back. Notice the chest has to float forward, up, and then as the shoulders go forward, the chest has to hollow. And down, and then there's neutral, back, up, forward, down, and neutral. One more. So in a sense, what we're doing is emptying out. We're cleaning out what's there that doesn't need to be there in the body. Now, bend your elbows, and one more of these upper body exercises. Flare the elbows, and lift them up a little bit. And then bring them down, bring them around in front and touch the elbows together. Then bring them down, out, up. The same idea, we're cleaning out what's already here that doesn't need to be here. And together. One more. So in Taoist practice, these movements are called Shen Fa, body mechanism methods. Now we'll go back, elbows back, which is different than you might think of, let's say in yoga. Go ahead, elbows down, forward, up. People usually think of the word pose, or posture. But a pose or a posture is a static situation, which there's value to have those static postures. There's value there. But the body's really made up of mechanisms that move, that function. Now let's go elbows out, left hand high, right hand low, cross, and wrap around your body like a bear hug, and then elbows flare out, and then switch, wrap, and then out, switch again. One more. So this is a mechanism, a functional movement, and down and release, hanging loose. Scoot back on your chair. So another functional movement that uses all the parts of the leg is this loading. So you bring the knee up, pull the heel in, so you can see this compressing spring loading gesture, and then push away, and then reload, and then set it down. Other leg. So we load it, push it away, we load it and down. As you do this, you're squishing and then extending and then squishing again and then down. And you're also working the brain and nervous system functional command, right? You're functionally commanding it to load, then commanding it to unload, and then reload and down. So we're paving these mechanism pathways. So that's a big part of Taoist practice, is this emphasis. It's what makes it unique, is it has an emphasis on the purpose of what we're doing and how to best engage and make change. Now, straighten your right leg. We go point, flex, point and flex. Then we go tip the foot in and out, in, out. Functional mechanism. And then we circle, circle. Reverse circle. And switch. Straighten the left leg. We point and flex. Then we tilt in, tilt out. Then we circle. And reverse circle. And down. Now scoot to the front edge of your chair again. One more important functional mechanism for the legs. Step your feet a little wider apart. We lift the balls of the feet, and then turning on the heels, notice this shape. My knees are in, my toes are in. Internal rotation. And then lift the toes and turn all the way out. External rotation. Pelvis and spine stay pretty stable. Leg bones at the hip sockets are the moving part. This space in here in Tai Chi is called the Kwa. It's incredibly important that we don't have this gummed up or collapsed or stuck. All right, so opening and closing, that's how you jumpstart the function here. And then back to neutral. Now the same functional junction in the body for folding, and then upright, and then from that same junction, tip. Just a little tip back. And then upright, and then folding, and upright, and tip. Upright, fold, tip. Now pause there for a moment in the neutral. Now drop these arms, let them be very loose and relaxed. We slide the feet a little bit back underneath. So we're going to stand up here, but the most important part of standing up is the state of all the body parts, right? Because as soon as we think standing up, a lot of times people think it's going to be hard to do, so then they brace the body and they gear up and they start to make all this effort. But if you understand what I said at the beginning, that shortens, tightens, constricts, it makes the whole vehicle go into a state that's not really useful. So relax. Feel how your body weight is going down through the chair, down through your feet, underneath you. That's grounding you. So as you fold, arms are loose, let them hang, let the weight stay down underneath and just pour your weight out of the chair, down underneath you, down to the ground, down through your feet, and stand up with a relaxed and loose body. Weight stays under you, under the feet. Notice the first thing I do is I don't bend my knees. I'm hinging, and then I'm folding, and sinking, 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 and landing, and then back to neutral. And then we fold and rise up. And then we fold, sink. And again, fold and rise. Now, don't sit in your chair, fold, sink, and then rise. So just get that functional movement where everything's relaxed, the weight is underneath you, and you're able to fold your parts and rise back up. Make sure you emphasize the sitting of the butt so it's not hanging your body out over top. You're keeping your middle and stay standing. Now, you got the chair on your right side there. Go in front of the chair and tip into your toes. Back to the middle of your feet. Keep using the chair for safety. Try to tip to your heels and to your toes. Heels, toe, heels. Now, in your toes, stay in your toes and lift your heels. Lower. Rock back into your heels and lift your toes. Lower. Use the chair for safety as you rock forward and lift. Rock back and lift. One more. Lift. Now, hands on the back of this chair. Walk your feet back. And fold at the hips. Get a nice stretch through the back of the body, back of the legs. And then the chest lifts up, the hips come forward a little bit, and we do it again. Hip hinge back. And chest lift up, hips come forward a little bit. One more time. Hip hinge. And rise up, chest up, hips come forward. Now walk all the way forward to your chair, stand vertical, and turn and face forward. Now you got your right hand on the chair, turn your right foot out at 5 degrees or so, and take your left foot out in front, heel touching, left hand on your left thigh. Now from the quad, from the hips, stick your butt back a little, tipping, and fold and slide your left hand down to your shin, your ankle, maybe your foot, the floor, and then rise all the way back up. So once again, a Shen Fa, a body mechanism, this fold. Now you let this right knee have just a little bit of bend in it as you fold, and you keep your left leg straight. If you feel pretty balanced, you could take your right hand and rest it on your right thigh as you fold and slide down and up, fold, up. Now we've just cleared and loosened tension through this left leg. Bring that foot back, put all your weight in it, place your right hand on the chair here, and tip. I'm going to turn this way so you can see a little better. So weight's in your left leg. Now put that right foot behind you and tip forward. So this could be your whole posture where you've got your weight going down through this leg. You got your middle, and then here. And now just see what you can do here. But notice any amount of torso going down, the leg has to go up. And then reverse. Come back to vertical. And we'll do that again. So we've got our middle, we got the pelvis, we got a stable leg, we got an empty leg. Tip. Fold. Once again, a Shen Fa, or a body mechanism method from the middle. Tip. One more. Great. Switching sides, come over to your other chair. You got the left foot near that chair, turn the left foot out just a little bit. Right foot out in front, heel touching. So you got this relationship. You got right hand on your thigh. Now from the hips, middle, fold. Slide your right hand down your right leg to the ankle, maybe to the foot. Come all the way back up. And again, hip hinge. Down. All the way back up. Again, hip hinge. Up. Hip hinge. Maybe take that hand, if balance feels pretty good, and you rest it on this thigh as you fold. One more. Now, this leg being cleared out, put all your weight in it, tip a little bit, and this could be the whole posture where you just are here, where you're tipped somewhat forward, this foot's still touching the ground, and all your weight's in this leg. Could be the whole exercise, or you could tip a little bit or a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, possibly to where you dangle that arm down like you're trying to touch the ground, and then come all the way back up. And tip. Up. We got a middle. That middle needs to be trained to know what it's capable of. So that's what yoga practice, that's what Taoist practice can help us with. And we're up. Now come back to the first side. Be a little bit back from the chair so the chair is in front and off to your right. You can get to it if you need to. Now you got your middle here, and you got two legs. Change your body weight over to one leg. So go into your left leg, and you may notice when I go over here, I don't lock my leg up. I soften that leg. I let it have a little springy support receiving quality. That allows this foot to be empty. Then from your middle, change. So now you let the right leg receive. It's the number one thing I see people do wrong is they put the weight on the leg and then they push down and they firm up the leg, because at first that makes sense, but it makes far more sense when you realize how the body operates, that you need to let go and allow this weight to get out of the body through the leg. You don't want to hold it, you want to release it. And so then we just easily change one leg, the other leg. And just notice in my body, I have my middle pillar, and it's moving a little bit through space, but it's not leaning and tipping. It's also not staying held in one place. So we got to allow this fluid-like change to occur as we walk in place. We just loose, relaxed. Right? Now, stay in your left leg. You got your right foot empty. I'll turn so you can see some angles. Lift. Put the foot down. And then change. Put all the weight into your right leg. Left leg is empty. Lift. Put the foot down. Change. Now, your right leg being empty, it's got the levity. And then we change. So now this one is the mountain, the stable part. This one has levity. It can move. And then we change. Loose, free foot, change. Loose, free foot. Next level, hand on chair so you can safely disconnect. Place the whole foot down with no weight and then change. Get to the tippy toe, then disconnect. Place the whole foot down, change. Disconnect. You might try this no hands, but be careful, of course. But over time, that's what you get to be able to do. And then you can also add the idea of simultaneous. So you can see here, I've put my foot down, there's no weight now. As the weight goes down, this foot can come up. So the softer you are, the more precise you're going straight down to the ground, that's where speed can come back to your life. Now use the chair for sure to go full lift, all the way down soft, change the weight. This one is now empty, so you can go tippy toe, disconnect, full lift, all the way down with no body weight, change. This one empty, full lift, down, change, full lift, down, change. So we don't have to go anywhere to get the vital changes to happen in our body to help us with our gait and our balance. Now, back up from this chair a little bit extra and put all your weight into your outside leg. So you got your chair over here on your right. Your left leg has all the weight. Put your right heel in front. So you've got this relationship between your feet. And now, down. Get to the tippy toe of this back foot. And then go down, tip of the heel. Importantly, I'm moving forward and backwards, but I'm not leaning or pitching forward and backwards. I'm just down, down. So I'm accomplishing this advancing and retreating with soft, loose, effortless control of the body. Down, down. Level 2, hand on the chair so you can lift, lower, and then shift. And then this back leg, bend the knee. Put the toe down. Shift. The weight stays underneath, under this back leg. This one is like a cloud, empty. And then we got to change. So this one is the sturdy, and this is the empty. Change. Change. And then we go, weight staying down, hand on chair for sure, so you can go lift, down, change. And then this leg, forward and up, and then back to where it was, change. The weight staying down allows this lift and lower, change. And then lift, reverse, change. One more. Up, down, change. So softness gives us function. That's essentially what the Taoist understanding became, right? Now, change to the side. Put the weight in the outside leg, your right leg. Put your left foot in front, heel touching softly. And then change. Change. This first one, best time to try no hands. Middle pillar. Down to the earth, moves you forward. Down to the earth, moves you back. Down. Down. Loose shoulders so you're not carrying around weight. Hand on the chair so you can go lift, lower, down to the earth. Once the weight's underneath this leg here, this foot is free to flamingo. Touch the earth, down, leg lift, down, knee bend, down, down. Now, hand on chair so you can go full lift, down, change. Hand on chair so you can go full lift, back, change. Weight stays down, allows this lift and this lower, change. Because when the limb comes up, it's common that we pull up like so and we uproot ourselves, but we want to practice feeling down, the down quality as we lift, and this down quality that allows this lift. Switch sides, back to the first side. First exercise again, but we take it a little further. So we've got your right foot in front, left foot behind. Now change, This back foot is empty. Step with no body weight. Change. Change back. Notice when you change the weight, your body retreated through space, but when you step, there should be no movement backwards through space, but then when you change the weight, that's where the backwards through space happens. So it's down to the earth, I'm advancing, I step, there's nothing that happens, but then as I let the weight go down, then I continue advancing. Eventually you can make this totally smooth and seamless, so it's as if your body's just cruising forward, right? So we're just going down, step, down. Down, step backwards, down. One more. Down, step, down. And then down, down. Now hand on chair so you can go lift, lower, shift. Now this foot steps over something. So that really tests to see how grounded are you through your standing leg. And then change. And this foot free. And then down. Now here, really important. Up, tuck. And then as this foot goes back, don't let it pull your middle back. Stay connected to the ground through this leg. Then down. Lift, lower, down. Step over, down. Flamingo, down, down. Lift, lower, down. Step, down. From our middle pivot, separating full and empty. Now hand on chair, we go full lift, all the way down. Change, and then it's heel, knee, foot, down, still haven't changed the weight, and then change, knee, foot, still haven't changed the weight, now we change. And then this is the money spot here where we're going tuck and reach without any loss of where we are, and then change. Lift, lower. Weight stays underground. Weight stays underground. Switch sides. Level 1, the easiest one to try, no hands, where we put the weight in the right leg, left foot in front, and it's down, step, down. And then reverse, down, step, down. Down, step, down. Down, step, down. Continue. Now, level 2, good idea to use the chair so you can practice safe lift and lower. Shift, safely step over something. Shift, and then flamingo. Down, shift, up, tuck, reach, shift, lift, lower, shift, step over, shift. One more. And lift, lower, shift, heel, knee, foot, down, shift, knee, back, shift, up, tuck, reach, shift, lift, lower, shift. Move to the far left side of your space. And then turn and face. So we've got, right, we're all the way back. We got this runway in front. You got your chairs on your left in case you need them. Put all your weight in your right leg, left foot in front. Level 1. Change. Step. The body doesn't advance. Then you change the weight, the body does advance. You step, the body doesn't advance. But when you commit the weight to the leg, you advance. Step, commit. Step, commit. Commit. So the word separate. You have to truly commit to one leg to be able to actually have this freedom of the other leg. And then you got to be able to not get stuck over there, but now commit to this leg so that this one has that freedom. And then you got to commit to this one so this one is free, and then commit to this. So that's pretty much what gets everyone in trouble, is we're stuck. We get stuck inside of our own vehicle. So that's this emphasis on softness. So soft enough to change empty to full, and then change back full to empty, and then empty to full, and then full to empty, and empty to full. And somehow, right, which again, it makes sense when you really think about it, total freedom and loose ease gives us sturdy stability, where normally we would think we need this bracing and activity. But really it's about being looser. Looser, not sloppy, not totally disorganized. It's still organized and precise, but it's just totally relaxed. Now, possibly try to step over something. Change. So you work on really being under one leg so you can step the other one up and over, and then you got to change. So you're really down through one leg so this one is free, and then down, and down. Be careful on the way back. Just because we're moving backwards doesn't mean we lose this idea of it's just about down. Just make sure you got down correct. Make sure you got the down and the down. All right. Now, side walk or lateral walk. Turn and face forward. Put all the weight in your left leg, and your right foot being free, step it both in and out and in again without your body moving in space. So this is my conduit to the ground. My body is stable here in space. Now, as you put that right foot out empty, now let the weight go down. Use the right leg as your conduit to the ground. That moves you sideways. And then go down through the other leg. That moves you sideways. Down, 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 down. Opening and closing this quad, this hip space. When I go over this way, this is closed. This has to open. And then when I go down this way, this has to close and this has to open. Now stay in your right leg and bring the left foot in, out. Close, open. Close, open. Close, open. Now bring that left leg in, keep it in. We got two closed quad, and how do we change leg to leg? We don't have very much room. Down, so that this foot is empty. Down, so this foot is empty. So in lieu of finding movement here, people will lean and do all kinds of less ideal activity up here, but this exercise helps us find this mechanism. Down, 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 down. Now stay down through your left leg, step your right foot out. Go down through your right leg, step your left foot in. Down through the left as you step right out. Down through right as you step left in. Moving sideways through space with down, down. And in a way, you could have a cappuccino cup on your head and not spill a drop, right? Because the the middle equilibrium in the body is retained. Now we're going down, bring it in, down, out. Right? There should be no leaning, no throwing the body around, right? This steady quality. Now, stand with two legs separate. Change your weight to your right leg. Let's add the turn. And then shift to your left leg and turn. Shift right, turn right. Shift left, turn left. The bear washing paws in the stream. Shift and turn and brush and sweep, right? We work on these in the Friday class. Brush and sweep. So now this is advanced yoga, advanced Tai Chi, in the sense that we're going to put it all together here. We're going to go shift right, turn right, brush and sweep. Now step your left foot in, keep it in, change the weight to your left leg, turn, brush, sweep. Step right foot out. Then change the weight, turn, brush, sweep. As the left foot is empty, bring it in. And then change the weight, turn, brush, sweep. Step out. Shift and turn, brush, sweep. Step in. Shift, turn, brush, sweep. Step out. Notice I didn't step my left foot out there. I stepped the right foot out, so I'm still traveling to the right. This foot comes in, stays in, change the weight, brush, sweep. Right foot steps out, shift, turn, brush, sweep. And then we change direction. Let's go for the bear, swats the jumping fish. This hand comes across high, step in. Now the hands change, shift, turn. You got brush knee down low, swat the fish up high, step, left foot out. The hands change. So it's more demanding. Bring the foot in. More demanding on the brain to coordinate from the middle this activity, these movements. Step in. Shift, turn, brush, sweep, swat, jump, jumping fish. Shift, turn, brush, swat. Shift, turn, brush, swat. And now the hands play with clouds. Step out, shift, turn. This hand is a cloud, this hand the lake. Step the left foot in, the hands change. Then we go shift and turn, cloud, lake. The hands change, we step out, shift, turn, cloud, lake. Raining down, vaporing up as you step in, shift and turn, cloud, lake. Vapor and rain, step out. The feeling can be that you're traveling through space and issuing all of this movement, functional movement, and yet you're not coming out of the grounded state at all. So you're grounded the whole time. And yet you're experiencing freedom of movement, freedom of change through your tissue, through your joints, change direction. Stepping in. Shift and turn. We have a middle pivot. It's capable of a lot. And so the practice that we've done today put that middle pivot through quite a bit of different demand. And then both hands down and settle to the middle. So we've moved forwards and backwards, we've moved sideways, and we also need to rotate and turn in space. So come to this space between your two chairs so that they're there for you should you need them. Put all your weight into this left leg And so the right leg should be free, but so too is the pelvis and torso. So turn the right leg out and turn your shoulders, turn your pelvis, turn so you can look to your right. And then turn back to center and look straight ahead, leg and torso. And then this leg is going to internally rotate, but also the pelvis is going to turn a little and the shoulders turn. And now you can look and see the left side of space there. And then back to neutral and turn. So you have one stable leg and the rest of the body has function. It can move, it can turn. Now let's skip neutral and just go from the outside to the inside, or the internal turn, or the closed, and then to the open, to the closed, to the open, and neutral. Change. Put all the weight in that right leg, loose shoulders, loose pelvis, loose left leg, turn everything out, neutral, in, neutral, out, neutral, in, neutral, out, neutral, in. Let's skip neutral and just go from in to out, back to the in. Freedom of movement. And then back to neutral. Put it into function. Now, we turn the right leg out, the body turns out, then the weight goes down through the right leg, the body turns to face the right, then the weight down through the left leg, allowing you to turn open again, and then down through the right leg, bring the left foot alongside. So now we're quarter turning. Open, close to neutral. The weight goes down through the left leg, it's a opening, and then a closing to neutral. Go around once more. Because what gets people in trouble when they turn is they swing the body around a lot of times because they don't have good alignment. But you can hopefully feel here that if you've got your central pillar, then changing orientation is as easy as opening and then closing. So by finding our middle and our mechanisms inside, we suddenly can drive our vehicle far better and more effectively through space. And let's go the other way. We open and then close to neutral. Open, close to neutral. So we're going the other way now, to your left. Open, close to neutral. The weight has to go through the right leg to allow the freedom to open, and then close it to neutral. Go around twice. Now we go the other way. So right leg, instead of turning out, turn in, change the weight, bring the left foot alongside the right foot. And then again, this is closed, neutral, closed, neutral, closed, neutral. Go around twice. One leg gets you to the ground, the other one becomes free, and then you change. This is where function can be upkept. We go the other way. The left foot, instead of turning it out, we turn it in. Change. Bring the right foot next to the left, and then change. Change. And neutral. Now, putting it all together, we go right foot, turn out, change the weight to the right foot, left foot, turn in, and again, open, change the weight, and this is closing. And again, open, and close, and open, 3 times. And change directions. Left foot turns out, that's an open. Come through neutral to closed. Through neutral to open. Through neutral to close. Open. Close. Open. Close. One more time. Hands together. Rub your palms. Back of one hand. Palm. Back of other. Palm. And then we go qua. Hip flexors. Tail. Low back. Back inside of legs down, come around to the inside, come all the way up to the belly button. Do it again, groin area, hip flexors, tail, lower back, outside and back side of legs, inside, front side of legs, and last one. And then with the arms, this up the outside of the arm to the shoulder, turn that arm, and then go down the inside and off the fingers. Outside, inside, out, in, out, in, out, inside. And switch, outer, inner, outer, and inner, out, in, out, in. Now put the weight a little bit into the balls of your feet, the toes, and then lift and lower your heels, small and fast. Let your arms hang and see if you can create a reverberation, a ripple through the whole body. Just be as light as you'd like, but just a nice sort of therapy of being shook, gently shook. And then settle. And just stand for a moment. Soft knees, soft hips, soft ankles and feet. Your middle pivot intact. Loose shoulders, loose elbows, loose wrists, fingers. And again, see if you can feel this quality that happens where when we're not grabbing and holding, that which needs to go down, or that which does go down goes down because we're not suspending it, and that grounds us. But there's a corresponding upward buoyancy, which is different than I'm trying to lift myself, but rather that I've let everything that's weighted and dense go down and out, and you feel a float. They say as if a string is tied to the crown of your head and it's gently suspending you, just a gentle suspending upward. And so here we are in between the earth and heaven, and we've got qualities of both. We've got material and density, but we've also got levity and buoyancy and freedom and function. And being a Tai Chi practitioner means you continue about your day with this quality. So when you go to the kitchen, you go to the bathroom, you go to your room, you sit down, you stand up, you're using this quality of loose and free and easy. And then close, wing, roll, fold over, settle to the belly, and then seal here, here. Alrighty, thank you everyone, great job.